Every year, extraordinary men and women who have worked for the good of mankind are nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. After all, the prize seeks to honor those who have done the most or the best work for fraternity between nations, the abolition or reduction of standing armies, and for the holding and promotion of peace congresses. Among them are Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and in 1939, a little known man called Adolf Hitler. Now, this might be quite shocking to you, as after all, Hitler doesn't exactly fit the mold of a friendly, peace-seeking, army-abolishing fellow. But what if I told you that he wasn't always the mass murderer history remembers him as? In the words of Eric G.C. Brandt, the Swedish parliamentarian who nominated him, Hitler was a man who, more than anyone in the world, had deserved this highly respected reward. By his glowing love for peace, earlier documented in his famous book Mein Kampf, next to the Bible perhaps the best and most popular piece of literature in the world, together with his peaceful achievement, the annexation of Austria. Now, if this isn't starting to sound an awful lot like satire to you, it should. That's because it is. You see, far from simply being an honor, the Nobel Peace Prize has always been used as a political tool. Brandt had intended to use the nomination as a way to publicly criticize and humiliate Hitler on the world stage. 4 years ago, Hitler had himself banned all Germans from accepting the Nobel Peace Prize after it was awarded to his political rival Karl von Ossietzky. Thus, if he was to have been a laureate, he would have had to break his own law in order to receive the prize. Unfortunately for Brandt though, not everyone could tell that this was satire. For his role in nominating Hitler, Brandt was ironically branded a fascist and banned from lecturing at several institutions, a label which he was never quite able to remove. The irony was completely lost on the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, which, having already failed to honor one unconscionable warmonger, resolved not to make the same mistake again. In 1973, the prize was co-awarded to US Secretary of State Henry Kissinger. The man was always a firm believer of realpolitik, the idea that ends always justify the means. George Orwell once said, "We sleep soundly in our beds at night, because rough men stand ready to do violence on our behalf." Well, that man is Henry Kissinger. It didn't matter if he had to massacre thousands. It didn't matter if he had to torture innocents. It didn't matter if he had to murder babies. If he wanted something done, he would do it. He planned wars and political assassinations. He supported brutal dictators like Pahlavi and Pinochet for the sake of advancing US interests and undermining Soviet ones. Another controversial Nobel Peace Prize laureate was Barack Obama in 2009, albeit for completely different reasons. You see, unlike Kissinger and Hitler, Obama had done nothing at the time. But that was exactly what the issue was. He had pretty much done nothing at all, other than win the presidency. Even he himself acknowledged in his acceptance speech that he was undeserving of the prize, but he had hoped to live up to it. It remains a contentious topic as to whether he has lived up to it since then. The point is, the awarding of the Nobel Peace Prize isn't exactly an exact science, and unfortunately its fate is to be forever tied to the game of politics. This isn't to say that it's a lost cause, but we should always keep in mind that the Nobel community is run by human beings, capable of mistakes just like the rest of us.